Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Joanna Butler, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Warrant Officer Class 2, Dale Donovan. This evening, we are honoured to acknowledge Her Excellency Betty Pavelic, Ambassador of Croatia to Australia, His Excellency Margus Krams, Ambassador of Latvia to Australia, Her Excellency Adi Stoyas Braken, Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to Australia, Her Excellency Caroline Miller, Australian Ambassador to the European Union, NATO, Belgium and Luxembourg, and the international delegation of permanent representatives to the North Atlantic Treaty Organisation, known as NATO, who are in attendance today. Since its creation 75 years ago, on the 4th of April 1949, the Transatlantic Alliance has grown from 12 founding members to 32 member countries. NATO is a community of allies bound together by the common values of democracy, individual liberty, human rights, and the rule of law, all working together to keep people safe. We also warmly welcome Mr. Joe Slatz, representing the Naval Association of Australia. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors to the memorial and students on behalf of Tevin Tinninbar Public School visiting from Tintinbar, New South Wales. If you are able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem. Students, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where family and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Stoker Duncan, Cameron, Stewart MacDonald. Duncan MacDonald was born on the 15th of June 1887 in Bordertown, South Australia, the son of Angus and Catherine MacDonald. In 1915, MacDonald married Charlotte Warren at the Registry Office in Adelaide. As Charlotte was under 21 years of age and did not have parental permission to marry, she assumed the name of Edith Price in order to wed. The couple are believed to have had about 8 children together. At the outbreak of the Second World War, MacDonald, who had tattoos on both arms and his chest, was a member of the Royal Australian Naval Reserve. Mobilised for duty on the 12th of December 1939, he began his wartime training at HMAS Cerberus, the Navy's premier training establishment located south of Melbourne on the Mornington Peninsula. Now in his 50s, MacDonald was suffering from health problems. In July 1940, a medical report diagnosed him as suffering from myocarditis and coronary artery disease, which had inflamed his heart muscle, causing him chest pain, shortness of breath, and rapid, irregular heart rhythms. Not long afterward, on the 18th of November, he was discharged as permanently unfit for naval service and authorised for a pension and medical benefits. Having served in HMAS Bermagui while he was on duty as a unit of Minesweeping Group 77, his last posting was to the Personnel and Basic Training Depot, HMAS Torrens, located in Port Adelaide. 4 years later, on the 10th of August 1944, Duncan MacDonald died, probably of a heart attack. He was 57 years old. Today, his remains lie buried in Cheltenham New General Cemetery in Melbourne. His name is listed on the roll of honour to my left, among some 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. A photograph of his headstone is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Stoker Duncan Cameron Stewart MacDonald, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the ode and the sounding of the last post.
They have no grave but the cruel sea. No flowers lay at their head. A rusting hulk is their tombstone, a fast on the ocean bed. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Lest we forget.
We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere or in the low scub at Gallipoli with his poor tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain has thought in his last moments, well, it's over, but in Australia they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the Director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support throughout the memorial's development project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening.